Okay guys, we're inside the Outback Wilderness here. Starting it up, super simple, comes to life, awesome. So like I said, under the hood here we have a 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer 4-cylinder engine. So it's horizontally opposed cylinders if you don't know what that means exactly. Not sure why traction control is off, interesting. But nonetheless, it produces a decent amount of power. Like I said, we have a continuously variable transmission here, higher torque for the extra power, around 260-ish horsepower, around 270 pound-feet of torque around that area. I'll throw the exact numbers right there. Yeah, it's pretty nice of a powertrain, actually, really refined and smooth. And I do find like how Subaru gives you a hot and cold temperature gauge, because a lot of their vehicles don't have that, and it's really annoying not knowing the temperature of your vehicle. I just feel like that's something I like to know. Driving around town, the Outback Wilderness is actually really comfortable. I'm not sure if it's the extra suspension travel or those like off-road tube suspension or even these kind of off-roady rubber, but it's really comfortable and smooth in here, and all the bumps in the road actually get soaked up really easily because I think of this setup. Nonetheless, it is a pretty decent vehicle to drive around daily, though you might take a little bit of a hit in fuel economy with the higher ground clearance and these more off-road focused rubber. I think right now we're averaging around 23 miles to the gallon. I believe the EPA rating is a little bit higher than that, around like 26, I think, combined, which isn't the greatest thing on the planet, but if you want a little bit more, you can go for different Outback trims. It does have auto stop start as well, but that didn't activate right there. And this generation of the Subaru Outback is generally really quiet on the interior as well, which is really nice. It is one of the more refined Subarus you're gonna get right now. And of course, you can have this in a more luxurious package if you go for the Touring XT, which just means turbo, the XT part. It is a really nice interior. You get Napa leather, and it's ventilated seats as well, so you do get a little bit more luxury features. And of course, the heated steering wheel that this one is missing out on. But let's talk about the driving experience in just a second. There's an auto stop start function. And like I said, if you need the power, it's there. And you can see the CVT is simulating real gear shifts right there, which is really interesting. Especially when you kind of like put the pedal down a little bit more, it'll kind of do that more often, those simulated shifts, which is really interesting. It feels pretty natural. And you, at that point, you don't really realize you're driving a CVT, so there is that. And a lot of people are worried about reliability. We have a Subaru actually that's like 150,000 miles, and we've never had an issue. So I know some people will have some problems. I've heard of some issues happening, but generally they're pretty reliable. So I wouldn't worry about that. Nonetheless, this Outback Wilderness is pretty nice. And like I said before, you can activate like your eyesight system, so you can quickly do that, like just like this, press set and you're on. You have auto steer ready, and it's incredible. You're not supposed to take your hands off the wheel at all, but it really will steer you like around a corner or something, which is really cool. I haven't seen many other vehicles do that. I know Mazdas, for example, will only do that under like 40 miles an hour, I believe. This can do it on the highway, which is impressive. It uses 2 cameras up there to activate that system. So when you're like driving off to a trail or driving to like a campsite or something, you can have a nice, comfortable driving experience on the highway. But you're really not supposed to be using that on public roads, even though it can be used. Again, like I said, the ride is really comfortable actually in the Outback Wilderness, and that little bit extra ground clearance does give you a really nice commanding feel of the road. Now, some people will kind of like shame on this car, like, oh, it's a wagon, but I don't really see this as being a wagon. I kind of see it as being a crossover at this point. The Outback is kind of just morphed into like this crossover vehicle that it's been so recognized and it's so popular that Mazda is now kind of like tackling them with their new CX-50, which looks more like an SUV, but is kind of like a direct competitor to this. And they have just introduced a new off-road version called the Meridian package. And it's nowhere near as focused, off-road focused, I think, as the Outback Wilderness is, but you are going to get similar features that I think copied directly from this, such as that like kind of like matte finish on the hood, the additional body cladding on the exterior, as well as I guess, an off-road mode as well. But this goes a little bit deeper. You do get better approach and departure angles, as well as a better breakover angle on the Outback Wilderness. I believe those are all in the 20-degree ranges. I'm going to put those exact numbers right there for you guys. So that's pretty nice. So you do get that benefit. But unfortunately, there is still a pretty big front overhang in the Outback Wilderness, so you're not going to get the best approach angle on the planet. And like I said, driving around town like this, it's just pretty quiet, really smooth, and no complaints really at all. Steering in all Subarus these days is pretty numb in that sense. You don't really know what's going on exactly with the roads. It's very direct, and it's direct but numb, and very light. It's gotten lighter and lighter over the years, actually. So it's getting towards, like, I would say if you've driven in Volvo or you've seen my Volvo videos, it's more akin to that versus anything else. But you're not buying this car to be a dynamic, sporty vehicle, so I can't really complain there on that point. Otherwise, it's very comfortable. If you did see, we're just kind of crossed over this lane a little bit. I'm not supposed to do this, but we'll see what happens. It'll beep at you, and those two little yellow lights right in the dash will kind of pop up there to let you know that you've departed a lane. Now, I believe this has lane keep assist when you have like the auto steer function turned on, and it will kind of like bump you into the lanes versus just warn you that you exited a lane. And of course, it has blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, rear front automatic emergency braking. I believe it has rear emergency braking as well. So you have a really big safety suite of technology in this vehicle. If you do really care about that, it is offered here. Using this touchscreen while driving is a little annoying. I would put on Apple CarPlay to show you that, but I'm using my phone right now to film. But you can just throw that on and kind of not have to worry about fiddling through this touchscreen, which honestly I find a little bit annoying. Even on bumpier pavement over here, handles it really, really well. Body control is pretty nice. Fortunately, there's no any like off-road trails over here to take it on, but for what it is, I think it drives pretty nice. Awesome. So I just want to take you guys on this really short drive of the Outback Wilderness to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what it can do on the road. Obviously not off-road, but I think it's a pretty good package. Again, there are some things that I wish this thing offered that it doesn't, that you can get in other Outback models, such as the heated steering wheel, which I think should be a necessity in this thing, honestly, as well as a moonroof, which is an additional package, which should honestly just be standard. But I think it looks pretty nice. We'll just turn the lights on so I can show you guys what that looks like. I think they look pretty cool as well up front. So yeah, it's a cool looking vehicle. If you want an Outback, you want the practicality of the Outback, and you want that little bit of dash of all-wheel drive off-roadiness without going to something more expensive or more off-road dedicated, here it is. And almost forgot to point out, you do get skid plates underneath as well, so there is that additional feature. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more videos coming soon from Allcarnews.